Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Yo, where are my Facebook peeps at? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Bryan+Post. It is rainy where I'm at today. How's the weather where you guys are at? Hope it is fantastic. I don't mind a little rain every now and then, you know, you're getting a little chill vibe and kind of put your pajamas on, pad around, or I do anyway, work on my book and take a little nap and work on my book a little more and, you know, just do what I do. So, speaking of working on books, hello there, Mimi. Most of you who've been following me for a while know that I've been working on a book for the classroom, for my teachers, for my post teachers. And it's been kind of nebulous. I've been struggling with it a little bit, writing it with Dr. Tricia Bridgewater. And it was a couple months ago, I actually did an all-day presentation to school. Charles Nass is the superintendent. Charles, yeah, I think Charles is the superintendent. And he brought me in to be able to share with his teachers, so you guys can actually go back in some of the videos and check that out. But we've just been kind of massaging it and trying to figure it out, and kind of going in one direction and starting, and all of a sudden, like, the last 2 days just kind of come together. And so it's really cool. And we're going with this concept. Trisha actually mentioned this because I think she got it from Charles's wife. I'm enough. And so I want you to say that for just a moment. I'm enough. And here's the thing. And it actually reminds me of way back in undergraduate school, there was a psychologist and author. His name was Eric Berne, and he came up with a psychology model called transactional analysis, and it's also based on a book called I'm Okay, You're Not. I'm Okay, You're Okay. And the concept of I'm enough. I'm thinking about this for teachers, and it also applies to parents, because I think that's going to be like the next place we take this concept, is that in the moment of a challenge with a child, so a child's in a classroom having behavioral issues, typically what we do is we just kind of push through. Like, we try to impose our will over the child. We try to get them to, and you guys have heard me talk about control, suppress, or change their behaviors for any number of reasons. But fundamentally, where that's coming from is from a energy and a position of I'm not enough. And the way that works is when your amygdala senses a threat, then you're at risk. And if you're at risk in that moment, then you're coming from an energy of being insecure. And when you're coming from an energy of being insecure, you're creating a vibration of stress and fear. That vibration of stress and fear is one that says and reflects that I'm not enough. So if you think about the times when you've gone into a situation and you have been like 100% confident about whatever it is, whether you were given a lecture, whether you had a class to teach, or whether you were going in to do a job, or maybe you got really good. I remember when I was a kid, my dad would occasionally have to go out of town because he would be going across the state to train other people in how to operate a front end loader, these huge front end loaders. And I know when he went, he was coming from a perspective of I'm enough, because he was an artist at the craft of running that machine. And you think about the times when you've gone into situations with your kids, they have behavioral issues, and in that moment you just see something really clearly, and all of a sudden you don't feel anxious, you don't feel stressed, you don't feel worried, you just handle it. I mean, like, you literally just handle it, because in that moment you are enough. Like, you really feel like you're enough in that moment. Like, there's nothing that child can throw at you in that moment that you can't handle, because you are enough. And I believe that I'm enough comes from a place of regulation. I also believe it ultimately comes from a place of love. So it comes from a place of power, ultimate power. I'm enough. The challenge to I'm enough is that I'm not enough. The insecurity, the anxiety, the worry, the fear. If a child is misbehaving, what is that saying about you? Like, what is that causing your brain to want to do? Where's that causing your thoughts to run away to? What's that doing to your short-term memory? All of these things that create insecurities for you that ultimately come from that place that you're not enough. And the reality is, listen to this. This is where it gets beautiful. You are enough. You are enough. I always like to tell people, you know, back in the day when I was a kid, the saying going around was, don't be a tool. Well, here's the thing. We're all tools. We are the tool. Who you are, your internal perspective, your ability to be regulated, your ability to stay focused and aware and connected and present gives you the ultimate power over any dynamic, over any situation. It's when we get stressed, when we get scared, when we feel insecure, that we lose all that power. And then we start generating more anxiety and more fear because we're feeling like we're not enough. And feeling like you're not enough comes from your own stress and fear and your own imprints. You are enough. And if you'll just take the time to slow down and calm your brain down, and realize, just think about the average school teacher who's probably been teaching 12 years. 12 years you've been working with children. 12 years you've probably seen every scenario. Do you really think that a child's going to come along and you're not going to be able to handle it? No, you got this. You've always got it. But it's a matter of slowing down and getting connected to yourself and getting tuned into yourself and then seeing that child, seeing their anxiety, seeing their stress, and seeing their fear, and realizing in that moment that they're not feeling like they're enough. They're not feeling like they're enough of a good student for you. They're enough of a good person, that they're smart enough, that they're cute enough, that that they listen well enough, that they read well enough. See, they're not feeling like they're enough. And that's what's generating their anxiety and their fear. And so then if you buy into that and you drop into not enough too, guess what? You're not enough, they're not enough. But if you can maintain that you're enough, if you can really say to yourself, I'm enough, I'm enough. In this moment when this child is having this issue, this behavioral challenge, when they're feeling like they're not enough, that's when they're going to invite you into I'm not enough. But when you can stay present and you can stay connected and you can keep in mind the way the brain works, you know, at that real basic level, amygdala and cortisol and oxytocin and love and fear, then you can continue to raise that vibration of being enough. And you will eventually help that child move from being not enough to feeling like they're enough too. And then when I feel like I'm enough and you feel like you're enough, man, we're making magic right there in that space. So that's where I'm going with the book. I'm excited. I've been consistent. I told you guys I've been getting up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. Get right to it. That's because my brain is optimized. I don't know why, but first thing in the morning, my brain is firing on all cylinders. And if I get up and I sit right down to my laptop and my keyboard, and if I get going, I can usually crank out a good couple of hours worth of work before anything starts to distract me, because I do get easily distracted. So it's like, and then it's like, I got to go work out and go do whatever. So anyway, that's it. I hope that's an interesting concept to you. I'd love to get your feedback, your comments, your thoughts on that. Be happy to let you guys review the book when we get the manuscript and get your feedback on it. So just send us a message. All right, remember guys, in any given situation, we always have two choices. We can continue to react from the same imprints of stress and fear and overwhelm, or we can stop. In any given moment, we can stop, slow down, take those 3 to 10 deep breaths or 100 breaths, however much you may need. Thank you, Rhonda Rorda. However many you may need, and choose love. Big Papa loves you. God bless each and every one of you. Have a fantastic evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Same bat place, same bat time, same bat cave.